this tutorial is going to be on pretty much, well, it's something that you're going to use kind of regularly anyways, but we're going to be showing you how to loop through the entity list. And what I mean by that is pretty much starting from yourself, you're going through all of these bots slash players, and you're going to be assigning a glow to them. Well, since this is a glow tutorial, what I mean by glow, which you already probably know, is giving them a nice old outline that you can see through walls and everything like that. Then, just like the trigger bot tutorial, we're going to be kind of forming this into a series and doing a few little kind of tricks with it, such as one that I like is altering the health as they get lower. So they're at 100% health, they're solid green, it slowly transitions from down to yellow and to red. Now he is roughly probably 93% damage done, 95 or so, and he's pretty much solid red. So that way you can easily tell, oh, he's just a quick one shot, just pop, done. Whereas everyone else, full health. So I guess we can go ahead and just get started with that. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be getting the glow object address, which, well, we'll be using in our function, which is going to be going off of the game module plus the glow object manager offset. Then we're going to get the entity, which is going to be inside of our loop, which is going off the game module plus the entity list plus the entity ID, which we're going to be using a for loop for so we can have control. So we start at 0, work our way up to 64, and that's where we do all of our crap. So then just multiply it, same thing as always. Then we're going to get the team offset entity using this offset, then compare the entity team with our team. So if they're on our team, make them glow blue. If they're on the enemy team, make them glow green or red or whatever you want. So we can go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and, as usual, we already have our game module and everything set up, so we have access to what we need. So we're going to have our main game loop, while true, and as usual, sleep by 1 millisecond. And the reason this isn't being started from dead scratch, quite frankly, if you can't figure out how to make a simple structure or how to add files to your project, you don't really have any business being here. Go back and continue to learn the language and just learn how to actually learn the logic behind programming in general. So that way you're actually learning this and it's not just copy and paste like a lot of it is. Alright, so start off with the first step. We want to, well, we can actually make our structure of offsets. So struct offsets, paste in what we need, and have that be what we use to access it. Alright, so first step, get the address to the glow object. So it's going to be game module plus DW glow object manager. So dword, what I end up calling it, yeah, just glow object equals mem class dot read mem. It's an address, so it's dword, then the address, which was file dot game module plus offset dot dw glow object manager. I want to do one more thing real quick, just because I removed it. Wait, I never got the local player. Whoops. We're going to also make a new variable for our local player. File dot local player equals blah blah blah. Yeah. That seems about right. Local play, and I don't have the local player offset. What is it? So offset local player. If it equals null, run a loop. And just keep getting the crap. Alright, so we have our local player. So we want to get our glow object, which we already have. Next step being get the entity. So that is going to be, well, we've already discussed it, just save time. But here's where we need to get our ID. Well, the ID of the entities. And the easiest way to do that is to loop through the entity list with a for loop. So we can simply do for short int I, set it to 0. While I is less than 64, we're going to run the loop. And we're going to increment I by 1 for every single time that the loop runs. So I is going to be what is our entity ID. So every time the loop runs, it starts at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on and so on, until it hits 63. Or 64, whatever. I'm not paying attention. So, we're going to go with the game module, blah, 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 plus the entity list, which I don't have the offset for in there either. Alright, so we have our entity list. So, back to where we were. Going off the game module plus the entity list plus I times 0x10. So, dword, wait, no. No, yeah, dword. Entity equals mem class dot read mem dword. So, it goes off of val dot game module plus offset dot entity list plus I times 0x10. I guess that's pretty much our little buffer. Alright, next step being we want to get the team of the entity and compare the entity with our team for color, which we'll do above. So now pretty much think of the entity as our local player. So if we want to get the team of the entity, we just take entity and add the team offset to it, just as if we would take the local player and add the team offset to get our team. So int entity team equals mem class dot read mem, type of an integer, entity plus offset dot team. So we can go ahead and do the exact same thing for ourselves up here. Just call it my team and read off of the local player instead. So now just make sure that's right. My team and we're going to print out my team. And same thing for the entities. And just to slow it down, yeah, set that to 100 so it's not spamming it like crazy. Alright, and as you can see, entity team for the majority of these. Okay, I need to slow that down inside the actual for loop. I didn't even think about that. Sleep, just do the, I'll just do 100 as well. Alright, so now this is readable. Alright, you see, hopefully I can still scroll up, scroll. Alright, we'll just wait for the next pass. But you see how that has the numbers 2 and 3. That's because these other people here, damn it. Okay, well, anyways, for the numbers that are actually correct and not negative, that is the entities that are around and alive, pretty much. So what we can do as well, we can just check and see if what entity returns. So pretty much, since it's an address, we can compare it to see if it doesn't equal anything. So if entity does not equal null, then we're going to print out, well, we're going to get the team and print it out. So let's see what it looks like now. Oops. Alright, that's a heck of a lot better. So it's only showing the valid entities as it's looping through. So we can go ahead and remove the couts, remove our sleep. So now that we have our team and the entities team, we can do our comparison. So pretty much if the teams are equal, we want it to glow blue. If they're not equal, we'll have it glow red, just for now. So if my team equals entity team, else, so here's where we're going to pretty much be writing to the entity to give it its glow. So we're gonna pretty much, what we're gonna end up writing to, where is it? We're gonna be writing from the glow object plus the entity plus, times 0x38. Then we want to go and add bytes to it. So we can go, just for example here, if you want to see, go to your normal calculator, set it to programmer, then go to hex. So first one's going to be, we're going to be adding 4 bytes to it. Second one's going to be 8 bytes, and so on. So pretty much what it's going to be doing is we're starting out at 4 bytes. We're going to add 4 more to it, which is going to bring us to 8. Then we're going to add 4 more to it, which is going to bring us to C. Then we're going to add 4 more again to it, which is going to bring us to 10. So this is red, this is green, this is blue, and this is the alpha. Then we're going to need to pretty much control glow when occluded and unoccluded. We're going to set those to true and false. So those offsets are, well, adding whatever you call it to it. It's going to be 24 and 25. Pretty much for reference, this should be when occluded, I believe, so we're going to set it to true. This is when unoccluded, so set it to false. So that's pretty much what we're going to be doing now. Alright, so if the teams are equal, we're going to be setting it to blue. So we can look back to our reference here. We're going off the glow object. So remember, we're going to be writing to memory. So mem class dot write mem. We're going to be writing a float. Now the address, which is glow object, which is here, plus our entity, which is here. Then, well, yeah, you can kind of see how it follows. So glow object plus entity. Well, you can just kind of capture everything. Plus entity times 0x38 plus 0x4, if you recall. So following along, glow object plus entity times 0x38 plus 0x4. The next one's going to be 0x8, and so on and so on. So now the second thing that we're going to pass in is the value. which is going to be a float. So this is red, and we don't want it to color red for our, well, people on our team, so we're going to set it to 0 for now. We're going to copy and paste this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is green, and this is blue, which we do want to change, so we can just set it to 2. Keep in mind this is a float, so you can do whatever else you want. You can do like 1.5, 1.3, and so on. But we're just going to leave it at 2 for maximum, and I generally like this at 1.7, just I think it just looks nice. Now, if they're on an enemy team, we want it to be red, so we're going to change the red to 2 and blue to 0. Now don't forget to change these, which I did forget. So 4 plus 4 is 8, 8 plus 4 is C, C plus 4 is back to technically, well, decimal of 10. Well, not literally 10, but yeah. Alright, so now that those are written, instead of adding these to every single, well, just in each one again, we can simply, where it's a boolean, the offset is 0x24 and 0x25. We want to set the first one to glow when occluded to true, and second one glow when unoccluded to false. I'm starting to feel like I have those backwards, but I don't know. So, let's see if this works. Oh, let go. And I'm not pressing the right button. Alright. So, and game just crashed. So, one moment. Alright. Went ahead and started up a bot game of Wingman just so it, well, we have a teammate and an enemy, and right now they're just set to not be able to move. So, completely forgot. That shouldn't be the entity. That should actually be the glow index. So, we're going to end up swapping that out. So we can go ahead and get the glow index. So, if entity does not equal null, int, yeah, glow index, I just make it shorter, equals mem class dot read mem. It's an integer. We're going to be going off the entity plus offset dot glow index. Now replace everything that states entity with the glow, voice correct, glow index. So, we can also change this back to 1 millisecond so it actually runs properly. So now let's run it and go back to CS and look at there. Our teammate is blue. That was terrible. And the enemies are red. And you can easily track them. Well, as you'll see here. Through walls, rocks, anything. You can easily get an idea of where they're going. So, that's pretty much all there is actually to it. I'm keeping this video quite short. Well, actually it's already 19 minutes. And in future tutorials, which will probably actually end up being tonight as well, we're going to expand on this. Just like I showed at the beginning. We're going to make it so as the enemies get damaged, well, you can pretty much just see their health. So instead of them glowing solid red all the time, they're only going to be red whenever they're actually damaged. And then, as well as when they're defusing, what I do in my personal, as well as the public released, whenever, let's say, CT decides to defuse the bomb, since their animation doesn't really change, they still look physically normal. It can be kind of hard to tell, but just as an indicator, if they're defusing, they're going to glow solid, bright white, just pretty much as bright as you can make it. Then when they release the bomb, everything goes right back to normal, just as a nice little helper. And he brought a helmet.